All right, you guys. So let me see if I get a little bit of light in here. Well, today this is going to be a dark stream, okay? I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. But yeah, so let me at least do something here, you guys. Give me 1 second, okay? Okay. So there we go. You can see me a little bit. I know things are a little bit disheveled right now, but I'm not worried about how we look. We're worried about the message today. So, okay. It's been a crazy past 24 hours. All right. You know, chosen ones, you can go ahead and tell them to hold these L's. And before I get into the messages, you guys, be sure to drop a like if you support the channel and if this reading resonates with you. This is going to be collective, and all of my readings from here on out will be timeless readings for the collective. For those that dislike, no problem. You can drop a dislike as well. But just interact and let your voice be heard in the comments below. Now back into the subject matter at hand. um, for those of you that saw the community tab, um, I know that it may seem like it's unbelievable. I mean, when I went through it, thank you so much for the likes, by the way. When I went through it, I was like, what the hell is this? Even I was kind of like, okay, what's going on here? But anyhow, the title clearly states that chosen ones, you can tell them to hold all these L's and that they can run, but they cannot hide. And this is very, very true with the energies at hand, not just for me personally, but it's funny, the reading well, it was a live reading before. So, guys, if you're looking for the reading that I did maybe about 2 or 3 days ago, um, it's really funny. I went back and watched it last night after everything happened, just to fact check myself. I like to see what I can improve on. So I'll watch my content just to see if my delivery is okay. What is it that I can improve? How can I be a better virtual public speaker? Stuff like that. So at this point, I when I went back and finally listened to myself, I said maybe there's something that I wasn't able to process, because it's different when you're in the zone, you're reading, you're sharing the message. You're not really hearing the message as you're sharing it, right? You got to go back and listen. So as I went back, I said, oh my God, every word, with the people that were trying to steal, that somebody tried to take my vape after everything. So let me just break this down real quick. We're gonna have a quick story time before we get in these readings, you guys. Um, but and guys, please share this video, if you would like to share this with someone where you know that they can appreciate real readings. We over here on this channel, I don't do the whole let me do the money grab thing and talk about twin flames 24/7 and all this other stuff. That's not to knock anybody else's hustle. They can do it the way that they want to, but I can certainly tell who's really telling the truth and who really knows these cards. And I just got to say, not to toot my own horn, but every time I go back and watch my stuff, I'm shocked. I'm like, oh shit, how you gonna lace yourself up in your own readings? So anyway, so that's besides the point. But anyway, so quick story time, right? So mind you, yesterday, well, the day before, let's start with the day before. That way you can kind of get the context, right? So, I'm the type of person where, I like to be friendly. If I see something that's cute or whatever, I'll say, hey, that's cute, or hey, I like that, or whatever. Um, and just want to put a smile on people's faces. And it's funny because as I'm explaining that about myself, I actually had a couple of people at the front desk here tell me that they liked seeing that, and that they don't usually see that in people. So that was nice to hear. But then fast forward to the evening, after I heard that, and I'm interacting with everyone and saying hello, and just shooting the shit, really. There was a group of people outside, and I'm not trying to be funny or anything when I mention their race, but it's something that needs to be addressed. All right. Unfortunately, and I thought we were cool. We were all outside in the front. The fire was going. It was a full moon. Everybody was feeling good. We had just toked it up. We had just, sat, and I was drinking my beer. They had their little tequila. They were going a little harder than me, but no problem. We were were having a good time, and it seemed like everything was cool. Now, fast forward to yesterday. Yesterday, we partied a little too hard together, but we had a good time. Everybody went to their room. There was no issues, no drama. And fast forward to yesterday, and the same people that I was chilling with, or at least, conversing with at the time during the whole fire under the full moon, I'm thinking everything is, everything is cool. It's not an issue. But then, I ended up, usually when I clean around the, my place or whatever I'm cooking, I'll put some music on, right? And so sometimes I misjudge how powerful my speakers are. They're actually production software BX5s by M Audio. So there are times where I'm thinking that it's quiet, but even no matter how quiet you try to put it, it you gonna hear it if it's and thanks so much, guys, for those of you joining. Be sure to drop a like, and if you don't like me, drop a dislike. But guys, be sure to share. Thank you guys so much. Now back to the point. So anyhow, so with that said, and I'm setting up the story so you guys know. So I had my music on, and the cleaning ladies were out there, all that good stuff. I was even talking with the cleaning ladies, and they said, "Oh, I like you. You're real friendly, blah blah blah." So everything was cool. They were up here when I was cleaning and doing everything. They didn't say anything, and then I've been here almost over a week now, so nobody else has had an issue. But all of a sudden, next door, there where some of these people where I was chilling with them the night before yesterday. It's like unbeknownst to me, I didn't think that there was a problem. I didn't even know that there was one. Now I'm going to admit, the little pool outside. I'm on, I'm somewhere near the pool, and hey, I don't mind if people are having fun. They're outside. They're doing their thing. I'm not the type of person to try to, be a party pooper. You know what I mean? Like, hey, if it's during the day, you guys are having a good time. Maybe you're a little bit too loud, but I could understand if it was like between the hours of 9 through, let's say, 4 or 5 in the morning, right? Then I would have an issue with the noise and all that. I didn't complain, but the people that I thought was cool and everything next door, they made the call instead of just letting me know, hey, can you turn it down? We can hear it, whatever. So anyhow, the person up front came upstairs. He said, hey, please turn it down. And I did exactly that. No fuss, no fight. And then I ended up falling asleep for the majority of the day. And again, I'm setting up the story, so bear with me with some of these details. They are very pertinent. Now, I went to sleep because I went too hard. All right, I walked the dog, cleaned the place, made me something to eat, played a little Injustice too, and then was trying to get information about when we're going to be working our schedule and all that stuff. And thank you so much for those of you that have dropped a like. I see 2 likes and 6 people. I don't know if you're a secret hater, drop a dislike, because sometimes that ratio's got me wondering, are there more hate snoopers and hate watchers and hate stalkers in here? That's fine. You can watch too, not a problem. But go ahead and interact, do something so I can get these videos out here, because somebody needs to hear these things, because I know I needed to hear it, and I'm the one giving these messages. But back to the point. So yeah, so I'm thinking, well, damn. When I after I turned the music down, I went out there again. I told y'all that the cleaning ladies were out here. They had already talked to me before I went in the room to finish walking the dog. I'm cooking, cleaning, minding my own business, and and when I stepped outside after the man from the front desk came up and told me to turn it down, and I turned it down, I just kind of stood there like, like what's going on here? And immediately the cleaning lady said, okay, I'm going to just tell you what's going on. The people next door to you called, they were making a fuss. And, that's why they said it wasn't us, and I believe them because, that I was talking to them about, hey, maybe doing a side job there. There's people here that I think are really cool. The environment is really cool. And so I figured, hell, if I'm here, I might as well be putting in work. I won't have a reason to say I'm late. I could just wake up and go to work. But anyhow, so that's what broke the ice with the cleaning ladies. Go have a seat. Go have a seat. Sorry, I'm telling my son, I may sound firm with him, but he was a little too docile in that situation because I'm kissing all over him all the time, and I'm not really firm with him. So I'm trying to be a little bit more firmer, but please don't think that he's, some people may take, my disposition with him at times when I'm having to get him to listen and mind, as me being mean, or as if that's dynamic the whole time. It's not. So just as a heads up. But back to the point. So even the cleaning ladies were like, they told me straight up it was them. And but it kind of struck me as odd because it's like, okay, I thought that everything was cool. Why is there an issue? You know, that you're next door to me. You know that we've talked before. Why are we playing these types of games? Then, not to mention, while I was taking a nap, I was asleep from two p.m. to damn near 10 p.m. Okay, I mean that's how hard we were going that night. So anyhow, I'm thinking, okay, I'm hearing everybody screaming right by all the windows, as if that's not fucking rude. And I wasn't the only one that heard it and complained about it. And so, and so even in that evening leading up to the situation going down, the lady at the front desk at the time was getting calls from other rooms about them, not me. They got it confused because we were next door, but it wasn't about me. So that should tell you something. So mind you, I called about the noise by the pool. Everybody else was calling about the noise. They're banging, they're screaming, they're cussing. I don't know if there's a fight. I don't know what's going on. So I said, hey, since I figured since y'all calling on me, I can do the same shit. I'm going to make sure that we're actually calling about something for real, though. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to be petty and start shit for no reason where there's no issue. So okay, two can play that game, So anyway, but I kept to myself. I didn't say anything, even though it was really irritating to be jolted out of my sleep with ghetto behavior going on, loud voices, and I wasn't the only person that heard it. So I know that I'm not just griping. I'm not the type of person that just likes to gripe. I don't like to waste my time like that. But anyhow, leading up to the evening, the noise level got to a point because after I'd already said, hey, I just got woken up out of my sleep. It's nighttime. Now I can understand at nighttime where you're like, what the fuck is all this? Now during the day, it's like, okay, you're being petty. That's how I see it. Okay. Because there's a noise ordinance for every property just about between 9 a.m. or 7 a.m. and 10 p.m. Okay. My music was in between the morning hours of 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. Okay. And it really wasn't even bumping like that. Now, again, sometimes I forget how powerful they are. They are pretty powerful. But I mean, I could understand if I was causing an issue and just, you know what I mean? So I knew what that was when I was told what happened and who and why. So anyhow, after I made that phone call, of course, I didn't say any names. I wasn't trying to be facetious or malicious. And then, on my way out to walking the dog, I'm hearing all this stuff banging and clanging and screaming, and I'm like, what the fuck is this ghetto shit? You want to call on other people about the noise level, but you don't know how to conduct yourself in public to provide the same consideration. So that's where my issue was. So I said, oh no. So as I'm getting up, I'm getting dressed, and I'm banging on the wall, like, hey, I can hear you, and they start banging back. I said, oh, I already see where this is going. So fast forward, I'm trying to walk the dog. We got somebody standing outside of the next door room. All right. And I'm not going to, give too much description because that's not pertinent information for this live stream, but the police know. And I don't want to hear nothing about snitching or anything like that. Because when somebody's getting assaulted, you're damn right you're going to be facing your consequences. Period. End of statement. I'm not going to turn the other cheek with somebody coming at me like that, especially if I didn't throw the first blow. So no, you're going to learn your lesson. Period. Don't want to hear shit about it moving forward. So I'm walking out with the dog. And the first thing I hear is, hey, she's walking out with her dog. Okay, so I'm thinking, I don't even know this person, never seen this person. Why the fuck are you reporting to them? What, so they can come up behind me? So, of course, my first instinct was, okay, now we have a problem. So, mind you, I still got my dog in my hand. I'm doing all this. I'm trying to just fucking take care of my business, walk him. I was already tired. I didn't feel like doing all that shit. But I was like, let me just go ahead and knock this out because I knew, I was probably going to sleep in today. But then I ended up changing my mind after this situation and said, no, get your ass up. I only had 2 hours of sleep. But motherfucker, I said I was going to come on here and do it. And that's what I'm going to do because the messages need to get out. Now, just wrapping this up because I see we're going into 13 minutes. Now, after he had said something, I said, what? Because here she is with her dog. I turned around and said, what? Then I start seeing multiple people coming out of the room. So you got 3 black girls, you got 1 black dude, and then the black dude that had alerted them, as if they're reporting for duty or some shit. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? Get it together, dude. So anyways, I said, oh no, I'm not gonna turn my back. No, you're not finna sneak me. You're not finna do none of that. So I said, look, and then she was walking up to me. Now that's something that you don't do. Don't walk up to me. I didn't walk up to you. Don't walk up to me. That is a threat. Period. End of statement. So I said, ma'am. And I said it multiple times. I don't understand why the English wasn't registering, because you obviously know how to understand and speak the language, because you doing petty shit earlier today. So why are you acting like you don't hear me telling you to leave me alone? Okay. I said that multiple times. All right. And so that was not respected. And then I'm getting louder. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm getting louder because I'm like, okay, you keep walking up to me. I just told you, leave me the fuck alone. Stop talking to me. I'm already pissed off. Just stop so it doesn't escalate. Well, and let me bring my voice down. Just thinking about it is just fucking ridiculous. How stupid do you have to be to not be able to handle and conduct yourself with a conflict with your words? Do you not have a brain up there? God damn. I mean, what the fuck? So you making calls and shit. You must have a little bit of brain activity, but there's something that's not functioning properly because, when somebody's telling you, hey, knock it the fuck off or back up from my personal space, motherfucker, you might want to do that. But instead, they just kept walking up to me. Then one of them threw the first blow. Then you got another one that was getting in the middle of it after she threw the first blow. It's like, how the fuck y'all go? Then I got one that tackled me to the ground because I was actually getting some licks back in, because I'm like, no, I'm not finna just let people just beat me up and turn the other cheek. No, you got me fucked up. And so one of them tackles me to the ground because they're like, oh shit, she actually can fight back. We thought she was nice and an easy target, and we thought we were just going to fucking stomp her. No, that's not going to happen like that. So anyways, back to the point. Okay, let me bring it down. Because one thing I don't do is I don't take threats kindly. I just don't. All right. Especially when I'm the type of person that does not do things like that. So back to the point. All right. So after that, then one of them grabs me by the hair. Then you got a dude coming around and I'm having to kick him because somebody's holding my hair. It's like, that's not how one fights. That's the easy route. What did you think, you were going to take my hair out? Was you jealous of what? I don't know what the fuck going on here, but it needs to get rectified today. Okay. So mind you, after all that happened, all right, I ended up having to walk out. Now, luckily, there was a woman with them. I believe it was their family. By the grace of God, I thanked her. I thanked this woman. She actually came to my aid. She was with them. She got them off of me. She walked me downstairs. Now, mind you, I had my vape in my back pocket. It dropped on the ground because there's no smoking in here. So I have to bring it outside. That's the only way I'm going to be able to smoke. So, and I noticed that was gone. I said, motherfucker. I mean, it would be a perfect time to just have a little smoke while I'm walking the dog so I can calm down, because I've been abused before. I've dealt with abuse. I've dealt with it as a child growing up. Now I can defend myself. And that's why I get so crunk about that. Don't you dare challenge me like that and expect to walk away scot-free. It's not going to happen. It's just not. So mind you, fast forward, I had to call the police. I didn't even want to do it. I really didn't. But I'm like, get it on record. Okay, I'm telling myself, use your brain self, because it seems like I'm the only person that's capable of doing so. And so anyhow, I called them. Now I'm gonna let y'all know. All right, let me show y'all just so y'all know what's good. Okay. So as you can see, okay. All right. So, I'm not bullshitting. All right. So, yeah, these stories are real. Okay. So, back to the point. Okay. So, yeah, we called the police. I had to give them a description. Thank you so much for the likes. We got 3 likes and 7 people. Not sure what's going on. I'm not trying to beg for likes, but I want to know who's in here. Back to the point. Now, I had already explained to the police what happened. I told them, I thanked the woman that walked me down. I said, thank God for you. Now, I'm not going to lie. There was a comment made about me needing God. And I'm like, wait a minute, ma'am. I appreciate your help, but I don't think that I'm the person that needs to be hearing that. I mean, I didn't throw the first blow, the reason why I do what I do, even though it's an unconventional route, I work for God. That's why I keep telling people, you might not want to challenge me or come at me, because you cannot go around God's order. So if I'm working for him, I've submitted to him, and I am living in my purpose and living in my calling. Okay. You don't want to test that. And I be telling people that they think because I'm nice or whatever, friendly, they think that I'm weak, and then they get shocked and they figure out that that's not how that goes. So anyhow, that's rectified. It was kind of funny because, while I was explaining to them the descriptions and all that, The two gentlemen, they were very helpful. So there was some good that came out of the situation. The woman that helped me, they tried to take my vape, and she even brought back the vape for me. So, that is a godly woman right there. I'm glad that she was there, and I made sure to put respect on her name and to thank her for what she did, because she could have just let it happen, because that's her family. She doesn't know me. You know what I'm saying? So she didn't have to do that, but she did. And for that, I will always remember that woman. But here's the other thing. Now I got to give it to the girl that threw the first blow. Let me go ahead and make this clear, because I'm not going to lie when I tell the story. She did end up coming back and apologizing. So I will give her that. Okay. It takes a big person to do something like that and then come back and apologize. So there's hope. There's hope for them. All right. But, of course, I'm hurt. I'm upset. I'm confused. And it took me a minute to process that. But I'm going to make that clear in this video. When I tell stories, we're going to tell all sides. So I will give her credit for that. Okay. Because she didn't even have to come back down there. Some people would just try to hide. But what I don't appreciate is when the police knocked on that door and you didn't open the door, but you sure ran out when you thought it was just me and that I wasn't going to do anything. Now, look, if you're going to do it, you're going to have to eat the consequences for that. All right. So anyway, just for my protection, I made sure that I had to report that, because I want her to learn her lesson. And the reason why I brought up that they were Black, this is why we are dying in the streets every day. We are hurting each other. And I'm not included in this, because I'm not the type of person that's violent unless you coming at me. Then we're going to have to check it. But the bottom line is, and I said that to them, I said, this is what you do to your own people. This is what you do. I said, this is why we're going through what we're going through. This is why we're dying in the streets the way that we are, because they see that we're out here doing this in the streets to ourselves and to our brothers and sisters. That's really another reason why I was upset. I'm like, come on, man. So bottom line is, that's the story, you guys. Now let me get into this reading. All right. I didn't plan on making this a long one, so let's get it. God and Archangel Michael, I ask that you please give me a Celtic cross for the current energies for the collective. What is it that we need to see, and what is it that's been hidden from us? Please give us the best advice to navigate through these energies that is most beneficial to our mind, body, spirit, finances, and living situation, and show me the outcome. Thank you so much. Now, with that said, you guys, I'm not sure if any of you have ever been in a situation like that. I know I'm not the only person, and here's the thing. I'll say this as well before I break this reading down. I did also own up to my shortcomings in that situation. I could have lowered my voice. Unfortunately, I'm already going through enough as it is. I let my emotions get the better of me, and I'll work on it. I did say that out loud to them as well. I said my reaction could have been better. Okay. And I do apologize for that. And I understand that. But at the same time, that does not warrant you to put your hands on somebody. That is assault. And so I'm pressing I'm sorry. I have to do it. I have to do it, because then I'm enabling that type of behavior. And I'm also stating, let's say if I said, oh, I don't want to snitch. No, that means I'm enabling that behavior to continue, and that they're going to think it's okay. No. Sometimes you have to put your foot down. And that's exactly what I was saying in the, before everything happened. That was exactly what I said in the previous reading. I believe it was titled Stop the Cap. Okay, because Stop the Cap 2K24 on through the rest of our living days. Okay, and every day thereafter. Stop the cap. And sometimes you have to put your foot down and make it clear. No, you will not be abusing me. No, you will not be harming me or my family or anyone else. But the other thing is, even if you're my blood or whatever, or friends or somebody that I know, if you're wrong, you're wrong. And I'm going to tell you that. And that's why a lot of people don't like talking to me now, because at first I just let them get away with bloody murder and just to keep the peace. But now I said no, because then I'm neglecting myself in the process and allowing people to abuse and use me. That's not showing myself self-love, self-care, and self-respect. So now, no, we're going to say, if you're wrong, that's a real friend. If you're wrong, you are wrong, and you need to fix it. Somebody that's fake, that's not really for you and just getting benefits off of you, they'll say yes to everything you want to do and say. but that's not your people. So I think that there were a lot of jam packed uh, gems and wisdom and clarity that could be taken from the situation. Now, with that said, you guys, let me go ahead and cut the deck and I'll get right into this reading and wrap this up. So, we're going to start with the first cut, the Six of Swords reversed. I feel like somebody's going to try to come back or has already tried to come back to discuss something. Maybe there were some words exchanged. Maybe there was some betrayal that had occurred, and it looks like somebody wants to come back and speak. But I think that some of us may be in a position where we don't want to go back, or we don't want to hear what that person has to say, because we've seen time and time again that this person is not willing to change. They're choosing to continue to do it after the problem was addressed. And so I feel like some of these people may be feeling stuck in their heads about it, stuck in their heads about some of the things that they did and said, and vice versa. Okay, keep in mind, guys, take what resonates, leave the rest. And I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments with whatever strikes you and hits home with you. But maybe even some of us may be feeling like we're stuck in a rut. Okay, some of us may be feeling like we're stuck in our heads about some things, some past betrayals, some lies, some hurtful things that were done, people that were bullying, people that were doing anything to cause loss in our lives. And so the second cut, we have this Two of Cups reverse. That's very interesting, where I was saying we don't want to go back. So for the general energy of this, and what I'm picking up already, okay, is that this could be somebody where we decided to, maybe reach an agreement with them. So maybe we're agreeing, hey, I'll give you this amount of money for your assistance with this, or hey, I'll do this for in exchange for helping you with this, something like that. Scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. But we've noticed time and time again that these people were not reciprocating. The relationships that we had in the past, where betrayal and lies and loss was evident, I'm noticing that we made a decision not to reunite with this, okay, because of the imbalances, because they were not reciprocating. But now I see that the tides have shifted and the tables have in fact and indeed turned. Okay, 10 of Cups. All right. So at the bottom of the deck, this is the overall energy, just as the common theme. And watch, I'm gonna see what we lay down, because this is gonna be a surprise to me too. But the bottom line is, now that you've made that decision not to let certain people come back, when you've noticed time and time again, you've given them chance after chance after chance, and they continue to do the same thing, we've decided to put our foot down and say, no more. I don't want to reunite with you. I'm breaking this agreement. I said that I would help you with this, but you haven't lived up or owned up to your end of things. So no, we're going to check it out the door. And now we're finding people where we actually can get along with. We're actually having a good time, meeting new people where they can actually meet us in the middle. You feel what I'm saying? Instead of us constantly giving, and being surrounded by a whole bunch of takers. Now I'm gonna start with, let me lay everything out, because I was getting ready to jump the gun. Guys, be careful with jumping the gun a little bit, and be careful with those around you who have a tendency to jump the gun. And that could be where that Six of Swords reversed earlier came out. Somebody may have jumped the gun about something, or made a snap judgment about us, and realize that they are in the wrong, and they have been in the wrong for a long time. And I think that the other people around them who they may have told about us or talked behind our back too, now they're starting to see. Okay, so right now, everything's laid out, so let me just get into it. Okay, because we've completed the majority of these cycles, we're starting to see that we're more emotionally fulfilled. For some of us, we may even be going to weddings. I keep getting this. That's so funny, because there was a lady, she was dressed all in her sari. It was a pretty sari, the Indian saris. I love those. And she was telling me that she got married, or she was getting married, the next day when I saw her. But anyway, so some of you guys could be going to weddings. Some of you guys may actually meet somebody that will reciprocate and that does make you happy and feel fulfilled. This could even be friendships and just connections as a whole. It doesn't necessarily have to be solidified, relationship romantically. It could be platonic interactions with other people as well. I see 3 people here. Okay, it could be potentially three people within the family where everybody thinks that their idea is better than everybody. They're not making plans uh, to collaborate with others. They're out for themselves, very self-serving. I also feel like the lack of planning, maybe even on our end, may have led to some imbalances. Some of us may be dealing with broken contracts, or just dealing with a situation where we're no longer dealing with people where there are imbalances in the relationship. So if we're always reaching out to them, but we notice that they never reach out to us, we're just going to stop contacting you. If we notice that you're talking shit behind our back and then we hear it years later, and then, but to our face they're cool, yeah, nah, we're deciding that we're shutting that down too. But the good news that I'm seeing, okay, and I see a lot of defensive people. This is going to be our challenge. A lot of people that are very paranoid. They might have said and done too much to too many people that we don't know about. Okay. They're not trying to collaborate with anybody because I don't know what's going on. Maybe somebody had a trip where they didn't plan, something wasn't planned out. But there's something going on where somebody knows that they're about to face their karma. And I really feel like because they're competing, they have a competitive and envious spirit. Um, I'm seeing that nobody's wanting to collaborate with them. And there's a lot of hesitation and paranoia with these types of people. They don't know who's who because they know that they've done dirt in the dark, and they know that that shit's about to come to light and they're going to have to pay that karmic debt. Nine of Pentacles is in the present position. So, and in the heart of the matter as well. So right now, all the cycle where we've dealt with imbalances and where we've dealt with conflict and betrayal and pain and loss, that cycle has now come to a close. We've become, and with the Seven of Cups reversed here in the near future, it's because we've become disillusioned with those around us. So maybe they were friendly on the surface and everything seemed, on the up and up, and, wow, this is great. But we're starting to see through the smoke and mirrors and see through the veil that people and see through the wool that people try to pull over our eyes. We're starting to notice what's going on, and we've become disillusioned. And now we're deciding, for the majority of us, we're deciding we don't want to deal with anybody. Okay. Because it seems like it's the same song and dance, and we're done with it. Somebody may have had a lot of choices, and now those choices, either we decided to leave them alone, or they decide, or whatever the case may be. It doesn't matter which side the situation has concluded and will remain that way. I do see temptation though. Some of you guys could have Capricorn in your chart or be dealing with a Capricorn. There's somebody that is very magnetic. They have a strong magnetism. They are very attractive. But when it comes to karmic relationships, when it comes to toxic behaviors and toxic people and toxic mindsets, I do see that our attitudes are now shifting. We're noticing that giving a lot of praise and giving a lot of positive energy and love and support to these types of people has done nothing but drain us and done nothing but leave us with nothing in the end, while they just continue to take and leave scot-free, not caring about anybody else but themselves. But here's the funny part that these type of people don't understand. If you really cared about yourself, you would know that it would be that however you want to be treated is how you should treat other people, because that shows you have self-respect. That shows that you are a respectful person. That shows that you care about yourself enough to care about others. But people forget that part. Now, Six of Wands, I love that right here, boo. I love that right here, boo, because this is in the crown. So basically your conscious energy. All right. Subconsciously, people can feel your magnetism. That's what I'm seeing. I'm hearing that. People see that. People see how they gravitate to you. They see your success. They see your growth. They see that you're expanding. You're starting to get a lot more attention, whether this is in regards to your passions, your pursuits, your goals. You're starting to see these things manifest, and victory will be yours in this situation. And things will be clear here in the near future. So things may be up in the air right now, but things are now clear. Now, the advice, let me tap into this real quick, because this speaks volumes, not just for the reading, but to myself and for myself. Okay. When I do these readings, I know that some of these things apply to me as well. But with this Eight of Swords, and the advice, You know, some situations where it may seem daunting, or maybe it may seem like, oh man, things are not working out. Sometimes things are not working in the way that we want them to. And it's about the perception of the situation and the perception of the perceived loss. Sometimes, like for example, in my situation, I thought that, I mean, the place I came out of, $2,000 a month. I mean, for what I was staying in, even they knew that that was beyond highway robbery. Period. I had stayed there for 6 months. My lease was up, and I said, you know what? It doesn't make any sense. These people have not um, respected the fact that when I was late at times, I'm going to be honest about my situation, because I got paid every 2 weeks. So that's how it had to be. And I made sure I was communicating with them, letting them know what's up. And they're making filing for eviction and then dismissing it, filing for eviction, then dismiss. I mean, if you know that that person has proven that they've paid, okay, and then you're doing that to me, and think about that, that stays on I know how this works a little bit. Okay. I don't know everything, but I know what I know. That stays on your record. So you're trying to sabotage, all right, somebody that's actually making payments. I could understand if I wasn't making any payments. So I said, you know what? This place has been nothing but trouble since I got here. It's not like I picked the place. I'd actually moved in with a friend of mine over in that place over there. I was paying for, he was subletting his room. And he had his girl over there, and that whole drama, but unfortunately he was trying to tell me how to act and behave, but he ended up going to jail because he literally was trying to take this woman's life, and I had to get in the middle of it. Okay, risk my life to get in the middle of helping her. All right, and he's in jail and still in jail. This was back in Halloween. All right. He's going to be in there for a long time because of his decision making. So it's funny how some people will tell you, they're so quick to tell you how to be, but then don't even emulate it for themselves. I don't respect people that are like that. And I don't listen to people that are like that. I also don't respect and listen to those that are hypocrites and that will try to throw religion in your face, knowing goddamn well they're allowing some shit in the background that they know damn well has nothing to do with their religious beliefs, or it doesn't even align even close to their religious beliefs. I don't respect people like that. All right. So the bottom line is, I see that, with that whole living situation, just as a side note, okay, because this is all relative, right? And there's reasons why I'm telling you all this. All right. With that situation, I mean, it was very disappointing because I was only there for a month and a half. I mean, it's like, damn, we can't. The plan was for us to help each other, but you crashed out like a crash dummy. Okay. And I didn't sign up for that. You knew what I was here for. I was here to work. I had just got a job. Okay. After a long time of not working, COVID and homelessness and coming out of all that, he knew where I came out of. And you still jeopardize that? Then you got kids. You got a son and twin girls that I know personally. Okay. And you didn't even think about them. You see what I'm saying? You all about you, but you didn't even think about your kids. You didn't think about the consequences of your actions. You could have just kicked that girl out. Instead, you put your hands on her. Now you're in jail for however long because it's attempted. Let me just put it like that. That charge is basically 2 counts of attempted. Okay. So, and luckily I was there to get in the middle of it. I mean, I shouldn't have had to be in that situation, but the bottom line is I was supposed to have time to save up. But I still found $3,000 in a span of 2 damn weeks. All right. Because then they came up and said, you're an unauthorized tenant. Either you can sign a lease or whatever. And I let them know, hey, look, credit, I'm still working on it, blah, 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 blah. Are you willing to work with me? So I'll give them the fact that they worked with me. But then management changed. And these people were just complete. And then the location of the apartment, I had some, another black woman over there in a different, it's like, damn, why can't we get it together, bro? She's over here with her little girl, just letting her run around and wreak havoc and screaming by the window. And I mean, it was I'm like, what? As nice as this place is, and this is how you're behaving. And then you got the nerve to try to do little shit by my window. I mean, come on, bro. But you want me to be quiet. No, ma'am. No. If you're going to be making noise, I'm going to go ahead and give it right back to you. Okay. So I don't have to hear it every day. And so I was dealing with that over there. So it's like, I'm over that. And so that's why I was in that position in that apartment. But I still found a way. Okay, I found a way, and by the grace of God. When I had to leave that situation, I was already comfortable. I had everything set up. I didn't. I felt like, oh my God, what the hell? Every time I'm working so hard, I'm not going to my vices anymore. I'm submitting to God. I'm living in my purpose. What the hell is going on? But then after I left, I took the time to step out of my emotions and really process everything and really look, were you really happy there? Was the place really worth all the money that they were basically just robbing you for what you had? No. So it was time to go. And now I'm starting to understand and have more gratitude and more respect for divine timing. So for some of you, that may apply to you as well. I just felt like that should be shared. But this Eight of Swords, some of us may be dealing with issues that, again, everybody's not going to have the same situation, obviously. But a lot of the things that, I mean, that kind of goes with this theme here, where we're trapped in our heads about all these different things, but not realizing sometimes we got to step out of our mind, step out of our emotion for a second, and understand that sometimes things are working for our greater good in a way that may not be on the surface what looks to be for our greater good. Sometimes what we lose or have to walk away from, or are forced to have to walk away from, are some of the most invaluable situations to be in, not only for our mental, emotional, and spiritual growth, but also maybe even more beneficial than what we were dealing with initially before the loss or perceived loss. So try to get out of your heads, you guys, because you know it seems like there's somebody over here that's not getting much rest. They're very restless, because of maybe staying in their mind too much. I see somebody trying to use brute force, to try to get their way or to try to prove a point or what have you. Some of you guys could be dealing with the Leo as well. I see those two signs coming out very strong. But yeah, the Leo could be the type of person where they're very much in their ego. And it doesn't necessarily have to only be a Leo either. This could be energetically just somebody who's always in the ego. They're very presumptuous. They think they know everything. They always want to appear as though they have this and they have that, but really, and that they know this and know that, but really, when you look at their life, they don't have anything to back it up. I also see that there's dishonesty, some people that lack integrity. A lot of us have run into that, and a lot of us may be very fearful about running into that again because we've been running into it over and over. I mean, common example. That's why I'm telling you some of these stories. It's not just to tell my business. There's messages in there. That's why I tell them. Okay. Some people think, well, you don't have to tell your business. I know I don't have to do anything, but I'm going to do what I want to do because that's my choice to do it. That's what blows my mind with some people. It's like, don't fucking tell me what you think or what I should and shouldn't do. Yeah, there's some things I could work on. No shit. That goes for everybody. But what you're not going to do is tell me how to feel, tell me how to react in any of that. Okay. So the bottom line is we've made that decision to move forward, but whatever you're still in the middle about, whatever you're torn about, okay. And if you're dealing with opposition and you're dealing with conflicts with people, make the decision that you need to make. I'm not here to tell you who to be, how to think, and how to feel. That's not my place. And because it ain't nobody else's place to do it with me. Okay. So I try to put myself in other people's shoes before I approach and speak. But the bottom line is the decisions that we made, don't be in two minds about it. Don't be indecisive about it. Stand firm on your decision because you made the right decision the first time. And I'm guilty of this too. I'm like, should I go back because I've invested all this time in this person? I've got a lot of love and care for this person. We've been through some stuff together in the past, but then I look at the bigger picture. I look at the forest for the trees, not just the trees now. Okay, I smoke some trees, but we looking at the forest, girl. And so I'm realizing, ma'am, and I'm telling myself this when I say this, I'm telling myself, ma'am, you want love, you want respect, you want all this, but you're not giving it to yourself by continuing to allow people that that disrespect you, lie to you, use you, and abuse you in your life. You're still letting them stay there. So obviously, no, you don't love yourself. You're not displaying to anybody or yourself that you love yourself, and it's time to shut it down. And I finally decided to do that. To do just that. Now everybody got a problem with it. You didn't have a problem with it when you were benefiting off of me and using me and I was allowing you to do it. Now you're mad because I'm calling you on your shit. Well, then just be mad then. Hell, I'm mad that I had to put up with the shit as long as I did. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody want to act like they don't have a part in to play in everything. What people don't understand, they always try to point the finger at the other person. But if you involved in a conflict, bitch, or involved in anything with anybody else, it's gonna be your side and their side in the middle. So everybody's complicit in their own way. So everybody needs to hold themselves accountable. This is the season of everybody being held accountable, but it starts with yourself. And then once you start working through the things that you need to change and the things you will not tolerate and you stand 10 toes down on it, that's when you'll start to see changes. But that is what I have for you guys. Thank you so much to those of you who took the time to listen. And guys, be sure to drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you'd like a private reading, my information will be in the description box. And that is all, you guys. Don't forget to drop a like. Share this with somebody who you know may need it. And until next time, stay blessed, not stressed. Peace and love.